next one. Uganda versus Nepal, a sport of speed, skill, strategy and stamina. We're counting down to the start of the first semi-final.
Good afternoon everybody and welcome to the first semi-final of this is the women's match. At first, let's welcome the team of Nepal!
They're a top team, firm favourites coming into the semi-final against Uganda. Nepal, ranked number 2 in Asia. You have to say that after the home team India, Nepal most certainly the most threatening of them all. Very, very talented. Deepa, Rupa, Manmati, lots of stars in this Nepal team. Watch out for them.
And up against him, let's please welcome the team of Uganda!
Yes, they're up against tough opponents, but it's a grand achievement that they made it to the last 4 here. Look at that body language. Oozing confidence, and they will be no mugs on the mat. Here to prove a point, settling down on the mat, are the girls from Uganda.
And now, let's also welcome our dignitaries. Up first, Mr. Brij Haldania, Director, International Kho Kho Federation, and joining him is Mr. M.S. Tyagi, General Secretary, Kho Kho Federation of India.
Well, the national anthem represents the country's strength, character and identity. Time for the national anthems.
Let's all rise for the national anthem of Nepal. And now, the national anthem of Uganda.
This is what it all comes down to. One step away from a place in the grand final. Uganda on your left and Nepal on your right in purple. Saraswati, the captain of the Nepal team, with the number 1 jersey.
Head. What do you want, defense or attack? Attack. Chasing? Yes. Toss won by Team Uganda. Choice attack.
There you go. Uganda win the toss. They will be attacking first, or chasing, like we also call it. Will be interesting to see how they go against Nepal, who are absolutely brilliant on the Kho Kho mat. The men and the women's team are in the semi-final. Both the teams will be seen in action today. Let's take a quick look at the Nepal playing 12 first up.
Yeah, and there is class there. There is sheer potential there. You've got match winners there. You talk about Deepa, talk about Poonam, talk about Manmati in particular, Navneet.
Manmati will very likely play the role of the Wazir as well. Pooja, Saraswati, and they have a couple of Deepas in that lineup as well. But all in all, a very promising team. Well, you expect them to be favourites coming in here against Uganda. Have a look at the scores. Completely one-sided. Every single one of those games. Well, at each of them, we were super dominant. Yeah, chances are they will put up a dominant show against Uganda as well, who will have it tough against Nepal.
No doubt about that. But one thing's for sure, look at that body language. It's so infectious. It's so positive. They celebrate together. If they can row together on that Kho Kho mat, they are in for some delight. Talking about those players, talk about Natabi, Nagawa, Nankumba, Kirimbe.
What an exposure, what a platform, what an opportunity for the girls from Uganda. They're here, World Cup semi-final. Take a look at what they've done. They've had pretty convincing wins as well. Except for that loss to Kenya, they've notched up so many points. Let's take a break here. We'll come back with more.
To the last four today, 2 semi-finals in both categories will be played. This is Uganda versus Nepal. Uganda on the charge will be attacking first.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go.
Here we go. Semi-final number 1 in the women's category. A place in the final tomorrow up for grabs. Nepal defending. Pooja first up along with Kushbu and Asha Taru. Oh, she's claiming for the touch on Pooja. She gets it. In fact, Pooja is very quick to say, I want to review that. Oh, a review just 20 seconds into this game.
And sometimes, the attacker feels it. Defender won't sense it because it may be on the fabric and the fabric is hanging away. It's a very fine thing. It's going to be a tough one for the TV umpire.
Let's take another look at this. Pooja was very quick to go for the review, so she was confident that there wasn't a tag. Pooja on your left. Let's take a look at this. Usage of the post. Now for me, there is a tag for sure. Is there something? Do you want to check the feet to make sure that it wasn't touching the central line, Paddy? Or is that another angle? Is that something else that they want to look at? Oh, that also looks fine for me.
And because it's on the fabric, so the defender may not have felt it. Not that she was bluffing.
Yes. Defender is out. Review on second one.
And she's completely bamboozled. She didn't believe as if that result was right to go against her.
And it happened so quickly. 20 seconds into the game. Excellent usage of the post and a great touch to get Pooja, who's very, very good. One of the stars of this Nepal team, Pooja. Once again, an extension around the pole. Asha smart enough though.
Oh, they'll give you a hard time there. You can't change directions. Cannot change directions. You'll have to start again. Very quick indeed. It's down to Kushbu. It's down to Asha at the moment.
We start to see how Nepal will now maneuver around the Uganda attackers. That's why they're so good. Very smart from these girls. Very young girls.
A good defense will not yelp and roar. They'll believe in less is more. There it is. Oh, well done. You caught napping, hence the trapping there. Good Kho, quick Kho. Shows some speed at the moment. Now, they started very well, Uganda, haven't they?
They have. Oh, they have to be on their toes. They have to bring their A game should they challenge Nepal over here. And remember, when Nepal come out to attack, that's when we'll really see the force that they are on the Kho Kho mat. Right now in defense, buddy, like you said, I think Uganda have started pretty well. Not bad at all. A minute 30 seconds into this match now.
And look at Asha, very light on her feet. Will be mostly around that central line. And she seems to be the master of the zigzags there. She's hardly breaking a sweat there, hardly picking up pace. She will finally, if Wazir and her fall in the open space. Smartly, she's just zigzagging her skills just around the central lane.
And that's all you need to do. Now they're inching closer to the 2-minute mark. For everyone tuning in, this is a World Cup semi-final. The place in the final is what is at stake. Who will they face? We'll get to know when India take the mat in a second semi-final later today. But at the moment, excellent from Asha Tharu.
And I would want the Indian girls to be taking a close look at this game, because their prime rivals are going to be Nepal. No doubt about that.
At the moment, this is so smart from Asha. She's really making the Uganda attackers work now for this 2-pointer. Well, Uganda picked up the first two defenders pretty quickly. Look at this, Paddy. This is so smart from Asha. She's barely running. She's just jogging around.
20 seconds away from picking that dream run. 20 seconds away. Now 17 seconds away. As Navneet and I speak, down to the last 10 seconds, Navneet.
This is wonderful from Asha. Look at that zigzag from left to right to left to right. All she needs to do is keep it pretty simple. You keep the basics right. That's all you need to do. There you go. 3 minutes into this game, the dream run has come and Nepal are off the mark.
Yeah, controlled aggression is what it is called. Measured pace is what it is called. Nimble-footed she is. Not that she cannot run fast. She will. Oh, how about that dodge? She slipped, I believe. I hope she's not picked up an injury there. She's still alive. Well done. Well done. She's on fire.
Is she running on a steam, Paddy? You can start to see that she's getting a little slower. She is panting pretty heavily, but she's continuing to add to the score. 2. That is excellent. You could just see that she was running out of steam, Asha Tharu. It needed a good solid run and a hefty tag from across the central lane to get Asha Tharu out. And it's taken Uganda 3 minutes and 40 seconds almost to get the first match.
Nepal not exactly starting in the same flashy manner you would expect them to be. But Asha taking them not just to 1 dream run point, but 2 points in the end.
This was Pooja and Kushbu earlier on. And then, for almost a good 3 minutes, Asha Tharu did it on her own. Next up, Deepa, Anisha and Geeta are the 3 next defenders. Once again, very swift, very agile on the Kho Kho mat. Oh, careful. How close was that for Deepa?
Quick call. Now the Wazir. Beware, never get into real open estate when the Wazir is on charge.
Very smart. That excellent escaping skills from Geeta Chowdhury.
A group of 3 defending players on the field of play is called a batch. If that batch survives 3 minutes minimum, you get 1 point, and 30 additional seconds after that. You keep adding 1 point for every 30 seconds spent extra, survived extra.
Wonder what will Nepal be happy, Paddy, conceding how many points in this first turn when they're defending. I don't think they'll be too worried at the moment. We're almost 3.5 or rather 4.5 minutes into this turn, Paddy. They've only conceded 6 points. For me, that is advantage Nepal early on in the semi-final.
No doubt about that, and they have another golden chance of picking up more dream run points here. All 3 girls right there. If you really found a blemish or 2 at the start of the first batch, we see nothing here. Deepa, Anisha, Geeta Chowdhury, look at their placement. Very well placed. Very controlled aggression is what they're displaying at the moment.
It just started a little off colour when those first 2 tags came in pretty quickly. Oh, that is nice from Anisha Gole. How did she escape that? Oh, in fact, she's been given out. Yeah, and Anisha says, listen, I want to review this. There was no tag on me. Why was that given out? But they've lost their review, Paddy, which is why Anisha will have to make her way out.
Yeah, you only get 1 per turn, so if you get it successful, you can take as many as you want, but only 1 unsuccessful review per turn. It's as simple as that. Down to Deepa, down to Geeta at the moment. I want them to use their Wazir more, because that is something they've not done, but well done. Smart work there. Deepa goes.
Hold on, no. The whistle was blown, so you've got to stop play and start again. So that third touch on Geeta Chaudhary wasn't given. So she's the only one surviving. Paddy 45 seconds away from another dream run point. They're always finding a little hard to get that the third defender out. And once again, they've gotten a couple of touches in quick time, but Uganda just losing some steam here.
And what I see is nice pivot from her, nice little jog from her. She is displaying a lot of confidence on the mat. Oh, won't be given. Direction, you can't change your direction. After you move in one side, after that, now 190 degrees allowed, nothing beyond that.
And it's a thin line, isn't it? You can move up to about 90 degrees. Anything more than that will be counted as moving in the wrong direction. So as a defender, it's a very thin line. At the moment, Geeta Chaudhary is keeping Uganda on their toes. This is smart. 4, 3, 2, 1. And another dream run here. This is so good from Geeta Chaudhary. Eventually does get tagged. They've picked up 12 points, Uganda, but they've taken their entire duration almost of 7 minutes to get these two batches.
15 seconds left, mind you. It takes a lot out of a player. You run all the time. There's no moment where you can relax as an attacker, or particularly when you're defending them, if you're on your feet all the time. They're surviving for 15 seconds left in this turn here. Uganda would want to make score at least 2 more points here.
If they can pick up 2 in 15 seconds, I think they'll be happy, Paddy. You expect Nepal to get this done pretty easily now. There's about 5 seconds. Manmati is just rapid. She's one of the fastest there is in the mat for Nepal. She'll come out as a Wazir very shortly, you think. There you go. Job well done, Nepal. And Uganda only managed to pick up the 12 points. It's when you're attacking that you accumulate a lot of points. Manmati and the rest of the Nepal team dancing, which indicates that they're very happy with the first 7 minutes.
One of the strongest teams in the tournament, no doubt about that. Mind you, it's semi-final time. You will get to see a lot of Indian flavor today as well. Both the Indian teams have made it to the semis. And the first 7 minutes in the first turn were action-packed, no doubt about that. From the time it all started, they chose to attack Uganda after winning the toss. From there on, there was good usage of the post. The post catch and the post dive was visible. Points were tagged earlier on. Pressure was put earlier on Nepal.
Absolutely. But then after that, first it was Asha Taru and then Geeta Chaudhary. Extremely well done. Just smart play. One trying to do anything out of the ordinary. And one turn in. Uganda just have the 12. Nepal have done well to pick up 3 dream run points. When they come out to attack now, the next 7 minutes you think is going to indicate which way this game is going. Like we said, India will be on the mat as well. India versus South Africa, semi-final number 2. But stay tuned for this game. And the girls will step out, and then Pratik Kwaikar and the boys at 8 p.m. What a massive occasion this is for Proteas. The semi-final of a World Cup.
Now mind you, this is a sport which is about 4 turns. Each team gets to attack twice, gets to defend twice. Because Uganda were attacking, so their numbers are more. Nepal have done very well. 3 points from your defense is very good, Navneet.
Very, very good indeed. I like how Uganda have started over here. Paddy, once again, much bigger and heavier on the mat, Paddy, in comparison to Nepal, who are a lot more nimble-footed. But I like the intensity and the commitment from Uganda. One has been tagged already, so 2 defenders surviving at the moment.
And you'll get to see pace at this moment. Wazir is there. Wazir can move in both directions. Quick Kho comes in. Yes, easy tag at the end. Don't have to do anything flashy, anything urgent. Yes, now she'll pick up pace. There she goes. Now for a quick Kho, Wazir comes in. And Deepa gives it back to Pooja.
At the moment, it's only Nankumba Rose who's surviving. In fact, right on cue. She departs as well. And it's taken Nepal just 59 seconds to get the first batch cleaned up. Solid start this from Nepal. This is where they really come to life.
And the real impression of the game, who's leading, who's not, you need to look at it after the 2 turns. So both the teams have had a chance to attack and defend both. So now it's 12-9 at the moment, and that is what they can do. I won't be surprised if they can inflict 6 to 7 more. what do you call it? The batch is cleaned up.
If they continue at this pace, 6 will mean at least 36 points in comparison to just the 12 that Uganda picked up. Oh. There you go. She's not too happy, is Elena. There's another touch. How quickly has that come? Or in fact, it hasn't been given. So at the moment, Ojil Grace and Avori Yunus are the two that are surviving.
Quick Kho, sharp Kho. Quickly getting up. It's all about how quickly can you get back into the square, how quickly you give the Kho, how quickly you rise back again, and then it's about the speed, the agility, but all the time what you need is right bit of direction.
Ojil Grace is possibly their best player, Paddy. She was the one who took away the award in the previous game as well. Their best player, nimble-footed for me. She's the most acrobatic of them all. Very agile, very quick now. Can she deal with Pooja, who claims the touch? No, I don't think she gets it. Pooja is not happy with that decision. She wants to take the review.
Remind you, and it was turn 1 when Pooja had taken a review and it went against her.
Avori Yunus has been given out eventually, and so that leaves us with their best defender, their best player, Ojil Grace, still on the mat. Oh, don't want to take it easy. Excellent. That's what you want to do. Smart play from Ojil Grace, maneuvering around the attackers of Nepal ever so smartly.
You need to have a good judgment of direction, no doubt about that. You have to rely on your peripheral view. You should know the value of conserving energy because you will need it later.
At the moment, she is doing a lot of the running, Ojil Grace. Not the most conservative approach you'd think, but she's surviving, and she does get tagged eventually. Very smart, very nicely done. I think that was Khushbu with the touch. And so, but not bad, Paddy. The first match lasted 59 seconds. This one, almost twice the time, 1 minute and 44. Huge improvement, particularly because of Ojil Grace.
No doubt about that. All you need is a good evasive skills. All you need is, as we keep on mentioning, you need to be nimble-footed. You need to be swift. You don't need to be pacey. When you get pacey, it means you're using the outer space a whole lot. You need to stay very, very close to the central lane there, where the players are sitting. And then if you don't rely on your zigzag skills, you're gone. As Manzide is.
How good is Pooja, Paddy? She is such a good player in attack, in defense. So quick on that first tag on the Uganda defender. Right now, at the moment, is slowly starting to pick up pace, Nepal. It's been a game rather low intensity up until now, at least in a semi-final.
Very true. And the speed and the agility and the kill that you normally expect from Nepal, we've not seen that yet. Because I remember a game where you and I were doing commentary, we were on the edge of our seat because that was all about passion, the power, the purpose, the race, the blaze, the chase, the dive. Does she get it? Yes, she does. This is what we wanted.
A lot more of that. I'm still yet to see Manmati. She is the rock star of this team. You would probably put her as one of the best players for Nepal. Very active in that previous game. At the moment, yeah, well done. They get the third match. This one, once again, a minute that it has lasted. Uganda under pressure, and it isn't a surprise. Just still think that Nepal haven't let loose completely.
Yeah, we've not seen the spark that you would expect from them. With this sort of spark, with this sort of attitude, they won't be able to trouble India. No way, no chance. They have to bring their A+ game onto the mat.
Just look a little low on intensity and body language, despite the fact that they're leading right now, Nepal. They know that India is a completely different... There you go. The jersey number 11 on the right of your screen, Manmati. She is a pocket-sized dynamite. Now Pooja. My goodness. The acceleration is quite fascinating. Blistering speed from the Wazir of Nepal.
Nah, faster than a speeding bullet. That time, that's what we want to say. We want to jump out of our seats and talk about you. There goes the quick call at the end. Khushbu thinking, the dodge. Will it work? It can. It will. Dive. Yes, she does. And she rises with the points. 2 of them.
Fantastic effort that. I think it was Anisha. Now this one, Pooja. She's the one who's setting the pace for Nepal. The Wazir, Pooja, is really looking impressive today.
The officials, dignitaries, it will pack up furthermore the stadium there. Talking about the Wazir, the jump, the jubilation, Khushbu yet again. We are getting to see that. And this is one team, Navneet, which normally doesn't believe in skydives. They prefer to dive low into the body, into the feet.
So they've cleaned up 4 batches so far in 4.5 minutes, averaging a little over a minute per batch. Not bad at all. It'll be good enough, I think, for them to take care of Uganda in the semi-final, Paddy. You know that Nepal are too strong. You're very likely going to see them, and look at that. That is just great. A lateral dive from Deepa. Is slowly starting to pick up the intensity. They're warming up much better from Nepal. Far more attacking, far more aggressive. This is the Nepal you want to see.
And far more productive. And their potential is getting converted into performance at this moment. Well done. Great technique that. Does she get it? Is the question. Michelle says no. Nepal on the go.
Oh, that's a good dive again from Karma to Asha. Is the dive coming in? No. Smart play. Very nicely done. It's only Nagawa Dorothy who survives here. It's a second turn in attack because 4 batches have been cleaned up already. This is smart from Dorothy. Look at that. Excellent play, maneuvering the field. How much more does she have? Went the wrong side. And, well, the turn across the post was into the attacker. And she ran straight into trouble. But well done, Nagawa Dorothy.
Superb. They picked up speed in the last 2-3 minutes or so. Nepal are showing what they are capable of. Talking about a sport which is all about raw pace. There goes the dolphin. Divine and deadly. Well done.
Just a little quiet here in the Indira Gandhi Indoor Stadium at the moment, Paddy. I'll tell you what, when the Indians turn up on the mat in just a while from now, this place will be buzzing. It's a Saturday evening World Cup semi-final. The Indian women's and the Indian men will be in action, both against South Africa. You don't want to miss that. This is as exhilarating as it can get.
Easy with the dive. She produces the points and the flourish both. And then comes back with the same vigor, same energy. Now the Wazir, Pooja with the pace. Hand touch doesn't get. Quick Kho working. Thinks about giving it to Geeta. Karma comes. Geeta back into action yet again.
I like this from Ojal Grace. She's been the one from Uganda who's impressed everyone the most. Look at that. She can escape from a Pooja dive as well. Smart play. Very nice from Ojal Grace. By far the best player from Uganda. And she's keeping Nepal on their toes. And that in itself is quite the task.
Down to last 25 seconds, as we say. There comes the diving effort. Futile, doesn't work. Great energy shown from Nepal at this moment. But Ojal Grace is really make them sweat. Work hard. Toil hard for your points. You're not going to get easy points till the time I'm there. And she has sent this message loud and clear. She is just around that central lane and finally succumbs to the pressure.
With just 5 seconds left, spare a thought for her. Ojal Grace has been spectacular for Uganda. Take a look at that. It eventually needed a moment of brilliance from Pooja at the post to get Ojal Grace. This was earlier on when Deepa got the first touch. And then Karma. And third one from Pooja with the post gets a faint touch on Ojal Grace, which means Nepal have cleaned up 6 batches, Paddy. And now with just 5 seconds left, job well done, I think, Nepal.
Absolutely, but they are very capable of cleaning up 8 batches on a day when they are playing with their best game on that. No doubt about it. At the moment, how does it look like? Pretty much in favor of Nepal, 39-12. And this scoreline will tell you a true picture. Initially, 12-3 did not tell you a true picture because one team had attacked and the other team had just defended. So very tough to get points when you're defending here. 39-12 is fair demonstration of who heads here.
And who's dominating play. It's Nepal with a massive advantage of 27 points at the halfway mark. They already have 1 foot in the door for a World Cup final. What a show that's going to be. If India end up beating South Africa later today, Nepal end up defeating Uganda here. India versus Nepal in the women's category. India versus Nepal in the men's category is also a possibility. Speaking of which, Nepal versus Iran in the men's semi-final next match, Paddy. That is fire.
That's going to be fire. Because evenly matched teams here. Here, how are the points being taken? Talk about Nepal, you talk about the skydive point, 16. Post dive, good. So was Uganda. But you talk about running touch points, 14. And then the dream run, they get 3 points for that as well. Getting points in the defense, I mean, that depicts your true character and how fair and understanding you have about the sport. So, after 2 turns, it is 39-12.
In the women's division, and it is advantage Nepal. They have a 27-point lead. We're ready for turn 3, and it's Uganda's turn to attack once again. It's now or never for the girls in yellow and black. They really have to grab the bull by its horn, Paddy. Aggression is the only way Uganda can come back into this game.
Yeah, aggression for them, and total calmness around that central lane where they are, 2 of them. Jersey number 3 and jersey number 5, Deepa and Samjana. Manmati is, as you rightly say all the time, she's the one who's actually saying, okay, are you ready to take me on? Are you seriously thinking of taking me on?
And watch out for Manmati and her reactions every time an attempt is made on her. She will almost look down at the attacker after a dive and say, listen, there's no way you're getting me. And the rest of the Nepal team, look at, oh, has that touch come? Oh, it hasn't come. It hasn't. Manmati still surviving. Deepa and Samjana, the other 2.
Oh, she just doesn't want to dodge. She also wants to tease. And there she is. Look where she's standing. Just at an arm's length.
The audacity of Manmati to be doing that. Look at that. Escapes her touch around the post by the barest of margins. She fancies herself. She's very, very confident about her own abilities, Paddy. She knows how quick she is. And she knows the agility and the athleticism she brings to the Kho Kho mat. That's fantastic to watch.
What I like is, as you rightly mentioned, Navneet, the confident demeanor. I mean, it's like she seems to be mocking the attacker. And that only happens. That can only happen when you're very confident about your ability. No doubt about that. I mean, so many times when you would think, oh, she's so very close. Well, she thinks she can just evade that in the blink of an eye.
And it's only after years and years of practice. When you have that kind of confidence, it's audacious, you would think in some way. But there's a lot of skill and planning and strategy behind that. Manmati actually didn't play an active role at all in the first 14 minutes, Paddy. It's only now that she's getting into this game. And for me, she's, along with Pooja, maybe the 2 best players in this game. Deepa, once again, a tall defender. She was very busy in the previous game, along with Karma, Anisha. The star-studded team, this Nepal unit. And if they want to beat India in the final, I think they'll have to go up a few notches from what we're seeing today.
Thank you, Navneet. The confidence that you have in the Indian women's team that they'll definitely win their semi-final. And that is because of the current form that they have. That is also because of the capability that they have, the fire that they carry, the reputation that they have.
Without a doubt, India will most certainly go in as favourites against South Africa in the men's and the women's division. And for everyone tuning in, the women's match at 6:45, the men's match at 8 p.m. Both semi-finals today, both against South Africa. But I'm also looking forward to Iran versus Nepal. The next game is the men's semi-final. Iran versus Nepal, 2 top teams, electrifying teams. You don't want to miss that for sure. I expect plenty of skydives.
Plenty of skydives, and it's going to be a neck-and-neck battle. It is going to be tough. It is going to be intriguing. They have got that point. It is the dream run for them. And they look very, very good to maybe getting what? In totality, 9 is what you can get maximum. And looking at the fact that they don't seem to have broken any sweat so far.
Have a look at Manmati, Paddy, and Samjana. They're just standing there. All 3 defenders on the mat. This is great from Nepal. You're right, they could pick up the 9 points. 3:30, take another point. Dream run again. This is their 5th dream run point in this matchup in the semi-final. And marching towards the final are Nepal. No surprises whatsoever. They came here to India, to Delhi, hoping to be in the big final. There they are. Eventually, Deepa gets tagged.
But they're on the verge of adding another dream run point. We are 2 seconds away. They've got another dream run point. Well done. That is point number 4 for them, and counting still. Well done. They're looking very, very good. Manmati, as you've rightly said, she's got all the skills in the book. She's got a very, very controlled bit of aggression. Looks very confident onto the mat. Talk about the footwork, good footwork. Talk about the balance, perfect.
India versus Nepal. What a contest that's going to be in both categories. But just from a Uganda point of view, Paddy, we've seen Kenya, we've seen Uganda, we've seen South Africa as Nepal pick up another dreamland point. So much of representation from Africa. We've seen so many countries from Europe are being represented as well. We know South America and North America being represented. It's a fabulous stage, this the World Cup, and the likes of Uganda, South Africa and Kenya are only going to spread the word about this India's very own sport, and you'll start to see more African countries get into it.
And the more you watch it and the more you play it, you'll fall in love with it because of the energy that it brings, the flavor that it brings. It keeps you on your toes, it keeps you on the edge of your seat. It's a thriller. This sport is a thriller. It's an entertainer. Not an entertainer for those who play though, ask them.
Demanding, very demanding physically. These are serious athletes. Starting and stopping, moving laterally, maneuvering fields like this. Never easy. But this is just absolutely sensational from Nepal. Samjana is the only one surviving. They've already lasted 5.5 minutes, on the verge of making it 6 minutes over here.
And that would mean a job very well done so far. If she can just take it down. This is too much of an ask for her because this sport takes a lot out of the human body. It completely saps you, it tires you. And there she is, jogging at the moment. But can she survive for 1 more minute here? They add 1 more dream run point here. Can they make it a clean slate here? In the first turn of theirs when they were defending, they collected 3 dream run points.
This will be quite brilliant if they get it done. Only 45 seconds, but how much does Samjana have in the tank? She does look like she's tiring out. Imagine, she's the only one doing the running for Nepal. Well, you have 7 options of different players doing the running for Uganda. It's 1 versus 7 quite literally. And that's why it isn't easy at all to last an entire duration of 7 minutes as a defender. But Samjana is 20 seconds away from that.
There she is, well done. Can she do it? There comes the touch. Yes, the touch comes, which means well played nevertheless. I mean, 16 more seconds and the slate would have been clean and the performance would have been mighty. But we would not take anything away from that effort. It was stupendous.
Certainly was. Well done, Samjana. She did so well for 6 minutes and 44 seconds. This was early on when Deepa was tagged first up. And then Manmati just found herself in an awkward situation there at on the central line. She was tagged, and then eventually, after about 5 minutes later, Samjana gets tagged. Only 16 seconds. You would expect Nepal to roll the clock down.
No doubt about that. Looking at Poonam, looking at the fact that simple thing that they are fresh, they are agile, they are not tired at all. And sometimes all that tiredness actually gets into your mind. It has a direct impact on your mind. 1, 2, turn 3 finishes. Let me read out the scoreline after turn 3. It is 47-18 in favor of Nepal. The joy on their faces tells the story. Oh, bless you, beta.
How wonderful is that? The little one enjoying Kho Kho action in the cold here in Delhi. All Uganda could do is manage 1 batch of 6 points in their second turn in attack, which means Nepal well on their way to a World Cup final. They're 7 minutes away, 1 turn away. It will be Nepal's turn to attack once again, and so this margin is going to go much wider when they turn out for the final turn. Take a look at some of the efforts from Uganda. This was the successful attempt on Deepa, then Manmati, and then eventually it was Avori Yunus who got the tag on Samjana.
The dance, the move, the groove. You must enjoy every moment that life throws at you. Now mind you, there's 1 turn left, but that turn is where Nepal will be attacking. And the winner of this game will play the winner of India versus South Africa game. This is how it stands. Up next, the women's semi-final. Yes, a big one, India versus South Africa. They've got unfinished business left here in this one. 1 turn left. And then India versus South Africa in the evening in the men's category as well.
All men's team, the girls are doing them proud on the mat right now while the boys warm up by the sidelines. They're going to take on Iran. It is going to be a blockbuster. I'll tell you what, don't miss out. It's going to be absolute fire on the mat when two top teams, aggressive teams, are going to go head to head. That makes for a top contest. And there they are, the golden girls of India. Indian women's Kho Kho team watching from the stands. They could well be facing Nepal tomorrow if and when they get the job done against South Africa later today.
And I'll tell you, it has to be Nepal. Why do I say that? I always believe you must not announce the result much before, because from defense, there's just 9 points that you can win. Even if Uganda carries 9 points, they can't beat Nepal.
A review from Nepal over here, and it's Asha that's wanting to review this. A smile on her face. Isn't that wonderful to see? It's been tough for Uganda. Spare a thought for them. They were always going to be up against it, against a top team like Nepal. Now Asha, for me that looked pretty good from that angle. If we have another angle, might be more conclusive. Tough to conclude here, Paddy. The fingers bend over there when she makes contact on the shots. Is that an indication that there is a touch? I think this could be better. Yep, there you go. That should be conclusive. They see themselves on the big screen. They saw the replays, which is why the bright smile on Asha's face.
Easy. Normally it's not an easy task being a TV umpire, because it's only referred when it's very, very tight. Okay, this is what they are playing for. This is the trophy, the World Cup trophy for women's winner. Even
Ujil Grace it was. The one defender that Nepal really struggled in turn 2. They've gotten her in a flash. Pooja once again continues to be the Wazir for Nepal. It's just Navori Yunus that's surviving here. Now Pooja, she is a live wire, puts in the dive, doesn't get the touch.
Nothing brings you quicker off your feet, off your seat, than a skydive does. I mean, it is so exhilarating to just watch it. They completely go high up in the air, totally airborne. Now she goes straight. Good technique. Very well done. You require a great bit of mindset, good understanding of the game, which they seem to be having at the moment. 53-18.
Very similar script to turn number 2 when Uganda were defending in turn 2. They were lasting a batch a little over a minute, and that's exactly what's happened here. 1 minute and 6 seconds, and Nepal have cleaned up the first batch. Lots of talent here. So many of them waiting for their turn under the spotlights. Great atmosphere here.
Look at the speed. Oh, look at the dive. She books 2 points for the side. How is that for energy? How is that for play? Go straight. And she says, off you go. 2 taken care of. Point not given. Point not given. Direction changed. Sorry, apologies.
Is there a review that we're looking at? Yes, there you go. I think Jemima wants to review this. Let's take a look at whether there was a touch over here. Jemima thinks there isn't one. Khushbu was the attacker. Oh! The touch is pretty straightforward. Now, is there direction that should be checked as well? Wait a minute. We're checking for the review of number 4 on Jemima. Yeah, that's the one that we should be looking at. This is Pooja. That looks perfect. What a dive from Pooja.
Defender is out.
Fruitful. And we called it the first time, we weren't wrong either. The happiness turns to the commentary box as well.
Right, here we go. 20 seconds into this match. Nepal are slowly starting to get better. They're moving through the gears. That is nice. Well done from Nankumba Rose. Great maneuvering skills, good dodging. This time, Karma. Geeta. Again, oh, this time she loses balance. Never easy to make that 180 degrees turn as a defender.
Yeah, whenever you go into those open spaces, you should be very watchful, very careful. There comes on yet again, Pooja. Yes, she'll rise with 2 points, and that is the cleanup act yet again. It's lovely in the last 10 seconds or so, the energy. Quick Kho, getting up quickly, going for the kill, and in the end, when you get the point as well, you get smiles on your faces.
She's enjoying herself today. Lots of smiles from Pooja. She's got the jersey of the Wazir on, so she is going to be a busy player. If you're a Wazir, it will be busy times for you, but she's enjoying every bit of the time under the spotlight. This was the tag before Pooja put in that skydive. Just about managing to get a touch at the back of the heel of the defender. Having a jolly good time, and that's what's nice to see, Paddy. A lot of the Kho Kho teams, the one thing that you do notice is how close-knit they are as a team. Wonderful to see everyone enjoying each other's success. Every time a break, or they're off the mat, Paddy, they're dancing to the music. That's great to see.
Great to see. Poetry in motion with the dive. And then she says, the poetry in motion with powerful punch as well. The touch was a punch. Wazir can change directions. Yes, she can. She's the only one who can. The rest of them have a diktat, and the diktat is you cannot change your direction after starting in one.
A smart. Oh, she gets that tag on the face. Lubango Jovita trying to evade that touch from across the central lane. Can't avoid it though. 4:20 left on the clock. And marching along to a World Cup final are these girls from Nepal. There they are. They have made all of India proud. Priyanka, Ingle and the girls. Meenu in the background. Anshu Kumari, the assistant coach on the bottom right. So wonderful to see them in good spirits. And will they be threatened, Paddy, with what they're seeing from the Nepal team?
I think India will still start as favourites in case they have that clash in the final. And the reason I say so is because when I say one individual competing with the other one-on-one basis, I mean, India has slightly better talent. They move better. And I think it's the height advantage that India has as well.
24 seconds, Paddy. That's all it's taken. Nepal to clean up yet another batch. There they are. Magai Maji. What a rock star she is. But at the moment, Anisha, Karma, Pooja are enjoying themselves. Now we're seeing Nepal really express themselves. Anisha around the post with the most straightforward tag you'll ever get as an attacker.
Down to nearly 4 minutes in this one. They've got every moment to enjoy because they have a healthy lead at the moment. The scoreline suggests 71-18 lead for Nepal. They will be entering the semi-final, no doubt about that. Because the problem is, in the defense, you can only accumulate just a limited number of points.
Oh, Paddy, Ojal Grace, I have my eyes on her. Can she once again give us a few moments of brilliance? She is probably the best player there is for Uganda. She will be attacked by Pooja. Pooja's claiming the touch on Ojal Grace. She in fact wants to review it. Or is it not on Ojal? I think it's on Avori Yunus. And it isn't Ojal. What a fantastic dive. She ran in full speed. Full speed. And a dive to the left. That is top quality. She's enjoying herself.
No doubt about that. Look at that. Eyes perfectly fixed. That should be a good proof.
That's as convincing a touch as you'll ever get.
Yes, defender is out. It is successful.
She loves it. She's gotten so many tags today. But every time you land another one, it feels nice. That was a great effort from Pooja the Wazir. She has been the star of the game. We saw Manmati playing the role of the Wazir in the previous game, but a change in strategy for Nepal.
The chase begins. Fake Kho first, late Kho then. She thinks of giving a Kho, then decides. Against time, one more time. Last one standing at the moment. She is really troubled them big time.
She's the only one that's really troubled Nepal. Ojil Grace was a bit unlucky to get tagged pretty quickly earlier on. And she does get tagged here. Oh, in fact, it isn't given. Did Karma cut the central line, and was that the reason that wasn't given? But anyway, Anisha, Karma, once again, Ojil is still surviving. A minute and 20. Now on to Pooja.
I quite like that hunger, the desire, the will to survive. And she's got the technique also. It's not the will to win, it's the will to prepare to win. And she's really done a lot of homework on her body. She's invested a lot in the technique as well. Look at that. She's taking those rounds far more than I would want her to, because I want her to be around that central lane all the time. But nevertheless, she survived for such a long time.
This is phenomenal from Ojil Grace. But on the words of getting to the 2-minute mark, that in itself is a huge improvement for Uganda. And it's purely because of one defender. Ojil Grace has been the standout. She eventually will succumb to the pressure. But a top effort nonetheless. Yeah, it's hard, isn't it? When you've got to do pretty much everything yourself in a team sport. It's almost impossible. But that is top quality from Ojil Grace.
Well done. For sure. I mean, she's stolen the show on not just one occasion, but whenever she's gotten an opportunity, she's troubled Nepal. And that is where Nepal, they need to work on that strategy. This time around, Nankumba Rose will go on the bench. They're down to 2 at the moment. Zalwango Jamima, Nagawa to Rothi.
We're down to the last 90 seconds of the semi-final. 90 seconds stand in front of Nepal and a place in the World Cup final. They've been brilliant all through the World Cup over the last 6 days. We're counting down the final 80 seconds in this match. It's been a spectacular team effort from Manmati, Pooja, Karma, Anisha, Deepa and the rest of the Nepal team.
And it has been a joint effort. Solid as a team, well-oiled unit. They've got the fitness, they've got the flair, they've got the belief. I would have wanted them to survive better in the first turn when they were defending. But it's not easy to be that perfect in a sport which demands so much out of you. You need to be quick, you need to be sharp, you need to have the pace. I mean, she is giving it her all, isn't she? I'm loving this attitude.
Nagavi Dorothy. Oh, how much more can you expect from her? She gave it her all. She covered plenty of real estate over the last 30 to 45 seconds. It took a lot out of her. And it leaves us with just 31 seconds in this semi-final. They know it, on the verge of a place in a World Cup final, Nepal.
It is down to the last 31 seconds. It has been Nepal's domination right through. And you would expect that. With the culture that they have, they've been playing this sport for a very long time. They are India's closest rivals in terms of performances. India and Nepal have played close encounters in the past. India, when you look at the performances in the last 3-4 years, India have been the winners, no doubt about that, but they've not been easy winners, Navneet. As we speak about it, you're talking about Nepal being confirmed as the first finalist in 8 seconds.
There we go. Will they get another tag before the clock runs down? They will. This time it's Geeta Chowdhury that gets the tag. 3 seconds remain. It came in to India, to New Delhi as one of the hot favourites to make it to the final. She can't believe that she's on the big screen. They've put on quite the show. This is as convincing a performance as you'll ever get. A 71-point lead, and that will be it. Nepal in the final of the inaugural Kho Kho World Cup in the women's category. A dominant 71-point win over Uganda, and the number 2 team have become the first entrants into the World Cup final.
You talk about Deepa, you talk about Manvati, you talk about Khushu, Pooja, Nisha, Samjana, Asha, Saraswati Kadaya, all of them. It was a joint effort, it was a collective effort, it was a well-oiled unit. And you know what? This is one team India can never take lightly. They have it in them. The only thing where India will score high on them is height. When it comes down to the court coverage, both teams very good.
There they are, the South African women's team. They will be in action against India. Acrobatics. The president of the Kho Kho Federation of India, Mr. Sudhanshu Mittal, he's a happy man. Look at Pooja and Khushbu dancing to the tunes. Why not? Gets the Wazir jersey off. Now it's time to show them the dance moves. They've been one of the best teams this World Cup. The coach, it's going to take a while for the coach to calm this team down. They deserve every bit of the acknowledgement, the applause, and the love they're getting, this young Nepal team. And they will have their eyes on that very trophy, the inaugural World Cup of India's very own sport. And they're probably lining something up for the camera, Paddy. What is it that they have? Oh, look at that. They fall like 9 pins to Pooja's catapult.
United we stand, together we fall. All for one and one for all. That is the message, that's the motto, that's the way they've played so far. This is what it is. Now that is great camera work, brilliant. Oh, how many times in their minds, in their hearts, in their dreams they would have thought of putting their hands on this one. They've taken one step closer from doing so. That's going to be the hardest step, the final one, the final hurdle. Yes, they've entered the hearts and imagination, the millions and millions of Kho Kho lovers about that. You talk about their strikes, you talk about the giant moves that they've taken. You talk about the Wazir, Deepa, Asha, Pooja, all these girls. Manvati, Navneet, your favourite, because she was the most electric on the mat.
She had a rather quiet game. For me, the star of the game has to be Pooja. Look at that. Played the role of the Wazir. Looks like she's quite the favourite off the Kho Kho mat as well. Loving this celebration from the Nepal girls. And at the moment, it's a party here in the Indira Gandhi Indoor Stadium in New Delhi. Skydives, post dives, running hand touches. Look at that. Just goes to show how quick the Nepal girls are in comparison to Uganda. And they also picked up 11 dream runs in the process. All in all, a 71-point win, as comprehensive as it gets in a World Cup semi-final.
No doubt about that. We have the first finalist of the first ever Kho Kho World Cup. It all started with them losing the toss. That's the only thing they lost today. Everything else they gained.
Certainly, Paddy. They definitely came in as favourites. They've lived up to the tag. No surprises whatsoever. Deepa, Manvati and Pooja. You saw the 3 of them on your screen before the highlights started. They are the 3 stars of this Nepal setup.
Yeah, you look at them and suddenly you look at their robust attitude. You talk about the positive approach. And you need to have that robustness all through the game. It's not that they are robust one period. This is a team where you'll never find a let-up on intensity. They run hard. They get up, they start again, they dive. There's a drive, there's a purpose, there's a meaning to it. They are mean, but they're a machine as well.
As mean a machine as you'll ever see. Just look at that. Excellent. And good all-round skills from pretty much everyone. A couple of Deepas in this setup. Anisha, Karma, Pooja, Manvati, Asha. Everyone getting into the act. Pushbu. But for me, Ojal Grace, as far as Uganda is concerned, Paddy, was the standout. And there was very little that she could do by herself. Ojal Grace. It's a team sport and you'll need everyone to contribute to the team's success. But very little support coming in for Ojal Grace. All in all, Nepal have their eyes set on a World Cup trophy.
I mean, yeah, the girl that you just mentioned, I mean, she was the only one who was the savior for them. She could stay for, 90 seconds alone on the mat, and that's not a joke. Because you're moving all the time. They're making you run all the time. They're making sure that you sweat. You would run, you stay away from their territory. Try to stay out of their reach. You go around the post as well. They also have a Wazir who's going to make your life hell. But you survived those bullets for that long, and that calls for celebration. That's good enough reason for you. 89-18 victory, and that takes them into the first ever Kho Kho World Cup final.
Score at the end of the first semi-final in the women's division. A 71-point win for Nepal, and they book a spot in a World Cup final. Time now for the presentation.
What an amazing game for the women's division semi-finals between Uganda and Nepal, as we got our first team to qualify for the finals of the women's division. It is now time to present the awards and rewards of the said match between Uganda and Nepal. For the first award, I would like to invite Mr. Aslam Sher Khan, hockey legend, member of the last Hockey World Cup winning team in 1975, to present the Best Attacker of the Match award. And this award goes to Nagawa from Uganda. Brilliant try and amazing performance coming down from this one individual to get all the important points that the team needed. Next, I would like to invite Mr. Virendra Kumar, Senior Vice President, Ease My Trip, to present Best Defender of the Match award. And this one goes to Deepa BK from Nepal. Nepal was definitely on a roll, and this was an incredible match, and she was one of the main reasons that Nepal was so good. Next up, may I ask Mr. Brij Bahadur, Vice President BJP Uttar Pradesh, to present the Player of the Match award. And the Player of the Match award goes to Pooja from Nepal. I mean, it's not the first time that she's getting an award, and her performance definitely solidifies it, the way the performance is done, and she knows what's at stake in an important match. That's it from the first semi-final game, but stick around as we have amazing and interesting matches as the competition definitely intensifies in the semi-finals. Thank you very much.
We move our attention to a semi-final fixture in the men's division now. It's going to be plenty of fire. Iran versus Nepal, two top teams. We're going to take a quick breather when we come back. Semi-final number 1. Don't go anywhere.